fun. But now that you're in the shot, I got what I need. Stand to this side.
You've got what I need, but you say he's just a friend. But you say he's just a friend. Oh, you. That's kinda hot.
It's another fabulous Friday in the shop. Would you agree, Zach?
Oh, we're rolling?
Yeah, we're rolling.
Okay.
Yeah, well, it's a Wednesday if you guys are watching this day of the release. Every other Wednesday. Tune in. It's amazing.
We're doing junk.
Yes! Okay, so 2 tasks that we are running sort of in parallel. This is the primary project. Motor mounts.
They can't turn their heads.
That's okay.
They're over there.
This is fun. And then the second one is the throttle bracket pedal thing. Started this, we're gonna modify this. We started this, we're gonna continue this.
To the point. Good job.
Mr. Christopher is starting to look at the mounting of the brake switch. So he's got a piece of paper taped to the brake pedal there, and he's starting to lay out where some stuff's gonna go.
Alright, we're working on mounting this here switch for the brake pedal. And the way this works is it should normally be depressed, and as the brake pedal is actuated, the plunger should expand. Okay. And what we're going to do, because of packaging concerns and how much space we have underneath, these are the pedals, mind you. What we're going to do is we're going to take this switch and nest it back here where, I mean, it's safe from all the kick-in and from all the steering column shafts. So we're going to mount it in this position, approximately like so, and then there's going to be a ramped, spherical, kind of angular thing that causes this to expand as the pedal is depressed. Okay, so you'll see that later. But this template right here is where we started. And basically what we did is the exact same thing we would do in CAD, but we did it in real life. We took these faces and projected them down onto the paper, right? And then made some construction lines, basically, and placed our objects in 3D space, and came up with this first draft of the template. Alright, so we take this first draft of the template with all our construction lines, and the important ones marked. This is the face that we're going to mount to, and this inside face we're going to mount to here. We take that projected onto a second template, and we get the rough outline of the shape as it's going to be. Now this is not quite right, so we're going to take a little step further and refine it again. But these 2 faces will fold up, and then we'll have our bracket assembly. Third template time. We got this bad boy, right? Same thing. We're tracing again and projecting these lines, but this time I'm doing it a little more carefully. Actually taking care to make these 90-degree corners. We grabbed out some French curves and made some nice transitions between the 2 faces. And what this will do is this will give us the exact same shape that we need to make out of metal. And then we're in bracket territory. And just so you guys can see, we're going to take and cut this bad boy out, and you'll see what it looks like. It'll actually be cut right about here. Okay. And this here shape is going to be our final bracket. Okay, so now this is the same bracket on the pedal in place and really ready to be made out of metal. This guy's going to slide in here. It's going to be centered on that face.
Yeah, there'll be, obviously.
Yeah, let's actually do that real quick.
Not to you. There'll be a hole here.
Let's pause that. I'll make a hole.
We're gonna make a hole.
Alright, a little cutting action later. We got a hole. And this bad boy will set through there and be mounted about like so. Now we're going to have a second piece of metal that sits here attached to the brake pedal. And as the brake pedal swings, it will allow this to expand. That's the goal. Alright, so we take the final bracket as drawn up on this paper, fold it up in this manner, cut a fancy little hole here, and that's what we get, right? So this little bracket sits here and holds our switch. Meanwhile, this here radius shrinks as the pedal is depressed and causes this here plunger to extend, just like it's supposed to. Right? So there's a little bit of adjustment that we probably need to figure out where it comes from. I imagine this here curved ramp is going to be stationary and that this bracket's going to be adjustable just in case we have to fiddle with the alignment. Should be okay though. Alright, the actuation point of this here plunger happens about 4 millimeters in, so it's got a little bit of preload to it. So the second we start moving this, it'll take a millimeter at the end of the pedal travel for it to start actuating, but it's very quick. Right there. So right there at that point in a brake application cycle, regenerative braking should kick in because that's what the computer's telling it to do.
So as soon as you lift off the accelerator, it'll kick in a little. And then as soon as you touch this brake, that much, it'll get stronger.
And we'll fiddle with this alignment. I would like it to be like a feather touch. If you just touch it the slightest bit, boom, engaged. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but we'll see how it goes.
You've got what I need. We got a couple of little guys here. Ooh, that one's smooth. That one's got some grit left on it. We got a little gritty guy. Oh yeah, and we've also got this guy. He'll do her like a dunner. I don't know what's going on here.
Done.
This guy too. So we've got things that'll do things.
Okay, so you're good on that then.
Ooh, I wonder if that's the right size.
No, it's not.
Stick it through there.
Ideally, I'd like to get all 4 of them reamed out to that size.
Why all 4?
So that it'll make it easy to insert into the hole when we actually go to do the doing of the doing.
Insert in the hole. Are we filming?
Yeah, we're filming.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't worry about it, man. It'll all get cut anyways. Alright, throttle pedal modifications. This is what we're going to do. I need a little bit of adjustability here because the angles aren't quite right. We're going to lock this position in here. We're going to lock this position in here at these anchor points where we weld and bolt. And then we're going to make this bracket adjustable by cutting it up and reassembling. We're going to do something like this. Yeah, I'm cutting it. And then this bad boy is going to be adjustable right here. In and out, up and down, left and right. story was I even telling?
Grinding on a Mustang.
Oh gosh. I had this Mustang I was doing some grinding on, and I spent probably maybe 30 minutes with an angle grinder on some sheet metal. And man, it hurt my ears bad. Like ever since then, it's just been sensitive. So, you know, hearing damage is a real thing.
Correct. Oh yeah. Somebody will say something about hitting that vice like that.
Well, it's not an issue because everything's clamped down here. This is a rigid piece of...
Just saying.
Now, if it was loose, right? If it was loose, then that bad boy would be shaking. Besides, it's my vice. Alright, here's an update on the pedal. We got this bracket welded in place, painted up. It's looking awfully fine. Okay. Back to Project B. The less important of the things that are going to happen in this episode. What I did was, I made some more headway on this here bad boy bracket. I cut it just like I said I would, and then decided maybe I can make the adjustment somewhere else, and ended up doing it in this plate. And the reason why I did it this way is because these holes are much bigger than the bolts that we use, and we need some adjustment somewhere in the system. So what I did is I took a plate, welded 2 captive bolts onto it, and then I added another plate with 2 corresponding holes the exact size that we need. Okay. I then mounted up this here assembly and adjusted it until the actuation points were exactly what we needed, and bolted it down tight, right? Because these holes are oversized, I got a lot of movement in where this assembly can go. I then took this bolted in assembly and riveted this adjustment plate right here, so that now we have one position in which this here switch can actuate, and one position where it's correctly mounted. And if you'll see on the zoom in right here, it looks just about like it's done its job, giving us this big monster hole with the adjustment capabilities, the precise location for our switch to mount. Another fun thing to note, now that we got this switch located in the right place in 3D space, is that we took on this bearing surface and mounted some ultra high molecular weight plastic for this switch to ride up against. And it, you know, just does a job in helping this switch not degrade over time and not wear away that surface of braid against it. Alright, I got some stuff up over here, and while Zach's over there welding, I'm gonna take Seriously?
sometimes you can penetrate.
Do you have a good ground?
Yep. For sure.
These, they normally suck, but sometimes it's all you got. This won't fit everywhere. Okay, well we're up here at the front of the van working on the miscellaneous projects while Zach's in the back welding. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab some brushable seam sealer and apply it to all the joints that we removed it from when we were doing this rust encapsulation process. Now I've scuffed all the area, I've cleaned all the area, and we're basically ready to apply. This stuff stays permanently flexible, and it should be pretty much ready to go in 30 minutes. But the downside of this stuff is it's pretty wicked. Like, even the warnings on the back are more particularly scary than regular warnings on the back. So we're gonna be a little bit careful with this. It's brushable. Ooh. It's got a what's that stuff I was saying the other day? What was I saying that smells like? Fiberglass.
Bondo.
Bondo. It's got a Bondo smell to it. I imagine there's similar stuff in it. Just like the factory did, man. Look at these brush strokes. You didn't know any better.
We must conquer the rust. Always fighting the rust.
This is why I'm excited about the Cyberbus. Cybertruck. Man, that thing's stainless steel.
Yes, the company tried that one time. It didn't work out for them too good.
Well, the problem with the DeLorean, and I don't know what you're referencing, is that it wasn't a stainless steel body. It was a stainless steel skin.
Yeah.
Alright, there it is, seam sealed. These are about ready for a top coat of black, just so they don't stand out so much. But it's just as the factory did the day it rolled off the line, so I'm happy with the way it came out. There you go, you can see as promised. The brush strokes are still there. That is the look we're replicating. We got all the seam sealer on, we got that top coated. It looks amazing. Oh, that one can get painted black. But you can see the brush stroke. It's kind of nice, Somebody that actually knows Volkswagens is gonna be like, "Oh, you're just doing it all wrong," and I'm gonna be like, "No, don't make fun of me. I'm just a guy." And they're gonna be like, "You're an idiot." I'm gonna be like, no, don't insult me. This bad boy.
That thing fits on that tight.
Yeah.
Right in there.
I got an idea. That was part of the plan.
Throw it on the floor. Always works.
Both of them.
I'll bet you hole punches away.
Thank you, bud. This is how you get a messy shop. You get in the groove, you know? And you're like, I need the tool. I don't need to wait.
It's okay for things to be messy while you're working on it. As long as you clean up at the end.
Yeah. There. That bad boy goes there. Now we can start gluing it down. This is like adult school glue right here.
Adult school glue.
High-tech gasket dressing.
Drop it down where the people can see. There it is.
I've never used this before, but when you go on McMaster-Carr and you search for the application that you're doing in this combination of materials, it's recommended. So I'm gonna get my school glue out. I'm gonna school glue this up a little bit. This is the mating surface that matters.
So this stuff hardens or does it stay poopy?
I don't know. It feels like school glue, man. I'm assuming it's gonna set. And then I
feel like the first time I said institutional knowledge, you laughed at me.
No. I see I'm just using it differently. We are basically ready for our boot. But problem is, that glue stick type thing, it's not gonna work. I don't know what that product is really used for, but it's not what I was expecting or what I need at this juncture. So we're gonna put a pause up here. This is just gonna hang out and tackle it another day.
I do not like that coaster. You know why I don't like that coaster? It's because McMaster-Carr led me to believe that that coaster was what I needed.
Why isn't this coaster what you needed?
I don't know, but that boot is just not right. Like, it went on like a lip gloss and not like a glue. I thought it was like a Elmer's stick glue. You put on the back, and then you glue it, and then that's attached. That's what I thought it was.
Well, it's not, but that's fine. You just stick bolts in it, and you bolt the flange down, and then there's a gasket there.
You think that schmoo just wiggling around is okay?
Yeah, that's what it's for. I think it helps the gasket somewhat. I think it soaks into the gasket, makes it a little more waterproof, makes it. I mean, it's got a purpose. It's for something.
It is for something.
It is for something, but this still makes a good coaster.
I got lots of coaster material if that's what we want to do. We get into the coaster business.
Making coasters. It'd be a hell of a lot easier.
Yeah. Whee! I don't know. I've done some market research on the coaster business, man. That is cutthroat.
It wouldn't be near as much fun though.
Imagine the monitor.
You know, even with the frustration of today where I couldn't quite get my mojo on the welds and everything, I still enjoyed the heck out of this day.
Yeah.
Whew.
I guess tune in 2 weeks from now to see a finished bracket for the motor to be mounted up.
Yeah, I thought I was going to have it done and I struggled a bit, but I'm happy with where I'm at. I learned. Learning's good.
Yeah, a little bit of progress every day. That's all it takes. We'll get there eventually.
Yeah.